Okay, now joining us are members of the Arkansas Razorbacks, head coach Dave Van Horn, student athletes Gabe Gaeckle, and Ryder Helfrick. Coach, we'll begin with an opening statement from you.
Yeah, first off, congratulations to LSU. Man, they got a great team. They just kept fighting, and we kept fighting. They took the lead. We came back, took the lead, and then they got us. It'd been nice to win the game, get to tomorrow, see what happens. But, it's baseball. It's a crazy game. Seen it all, I think. But, we played. I feel like we played as hard as we could. Third day in a row. Really wanted to play a fourth. Hoping to get to the weekend, but it's just the way it ended up. But proud of our team. It's hard to say goodbye. I'm not good at saying goodbyes anyway. Great team, fun team, hard-working team, and probably just team, man. They were a team. You could tell by how emotional they were after the game. It was a lot of heartbreak, maybe because we lost the game, but honestly, probably just because the season's over, and they won't get to be around each other every day. So proud of them, proud of the University of Arkansas.
We'll open it up to questions for the student athletes.
Jacob Runner with Baseball America. For both of you guys, you were pretty quick to go and comfort Charles after the way that the game ended. What are you able to say to a guy like that in that kind of a moment, and what kind of synergy does this team have and togetherness? Why was that so important at the end?
It sucks to say goodbye to everybody, and Charles, he told me, he's like, I'm sorry, and I was like, why are you sorry? We wouldn't be where we are today without him, the way he competes, and he's one of the best hitters and people and just all around best baseball players I've ever been around. So for him to say sorry, it kind of pissed me off because the game's not on him. It's on a team, and that he's one of the greatest to do it here. So
yeah, for me, I love Chuck, and I know he was beating himself up, and there's no doubt in our minds that we're in the position we are without him. Great player and even better teammate, and I'm really gonna miss playing with him.
Questions for student athletes in the back?
Justin Hinkery, 103.7 The Buzz. Gabe, you came back on short rest after your longest outing of the year. Obviously, velocity was good. Had a lot of good moments. How'd you feel? And just kind of walk us through your performance tonight and what you faced.
Felt good. Messed up with 2 pitches, and a good team takes advantage of that. So they got me on those 2, and props to them. They're a good team.
Harrison Fan, SEC Unfiltered. Guys, what does it mean to play for a coach like Dave Van Horn, and just I know you guys are both sophomores, but just what you guys have learned and just how important that's been to you in your careers?
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Every day you show up, you know what you're going to get. He's by far the best coach I've ever been coached by, and it's just excited for next year.
Yeah, this coaching staff is the reason I came here. The greatest head coach to ever coach baseball, and we got an unbelievable staff. So every day we get to show up and work with him. We're super grateful, and I couldn't thank him enough.
Gabe, Ryder, we appreciate your time. We'll now open it up to questions for Coach.
Dave, Andrew Hutchinson, the Best of Arkansas Sports. I wanted to ask you about 2 plays in the ninth inning. Would you like to have seen Vahiva try to turn the double play on that play? And then also, what was your perspective of Charles's play in left?
Yeah, well, the way it all turned out, I guess I would have. I haven't talked to him about it. I guess he felt like he moved too far to his right for Cam to turn it. I don't know. He's an average runner. He's not a flyer, but he's not slow either. So I don't know, And then the ball, because I had a straight-on view of it, it was hit hard, obviously, and it was kind of hooking and sinking. But it looked like Charles slipped, right at the beginning, had taken off for it. And then when he slipped, he probably lost sight of it. And when the ball's hit that hard, he was just trying to find it. And I'd have to watch it again. We're a long ways away. That's what I saw.
Noah Beanick, 11.7. Coach, this game just kind of felt like a high-speed chase from the 6th inning on. You just think back to kind of the beginning where a ball just bounces over your third baseman's head on a wacky bounce, and the game just never really slowed down. But I want to know, you mentioned you're not good at saying goodbye. You mentioned that a lot of the guys were feeling a little bit emotional. How do you even begin to address a team in a moment like that?
Well, I just told them, after the game, I told them to get in a little tighter. A lot of guys were distraught. Charles was super upset. And I just told them I appreciate the effort all year and the ride they took us on. And, I just told them how much I appreciate them and that we'd talk again later. And I told them 2 months ago that this team needed to finish in Omaha, and they did. It wasn't the way we wanted to finish, but at least they got here. And they competed their rear ends off, lost that first game, then win 2, and, looked like we had a third. We're going to get to tomorrow. You never know, who we're going to pitch tomorrow. I don't know, whoever. But at least, we didn't get that opportunity. But it's not a whole lot you can say. They're going to hear it a little bit, but we'll talk again when we get back.
Matt Byrne, Democrat Gazette. Yeah, Dave, there was 10 minutes of silence right there where you're sitting on the dugout bench. I mean, what were you just thinking?
Yeah, a lot of things, feeling bad for Charles because, I could see him out there so emotional and everybody hugging on him. And it's not his fault. We wouldn't have got here without Charles dabbling. We wouldn't even come close. The guy got so many clutch hits, started so many rallies. I mean, you probably take 10 wins off of our SEC. I mean, he was unbelievable. And just watching those guys and how they didn't want to leave. And, you can get mad at the game. The game's the game. I mean, things happen. I mean, there's so many plays throughout the game where you could get a hit here, make a pitch there, or play there, and the game changes. And then we got down to the end of the game, they got the big hit. We got a couple big hits. They got a couple big hits. And I was just thinking, and I told Coach Hobbs, I said, man, this game, it will eat your lunch if you let it. And you just got to, learn from everything you do. And you get better at it. It's like life, man. It's a roller coaster. But you control it, and you got to learn from your mistakes. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you're not smart. That's the way I look at it.
Jackson Fuller, Southwest Times Record. Dave, I was wondering if you could walk us through just 2 decisions. Did you consider at all going to Gibbler against Brown in the 6th, and then maybe were you considering walking Jared Jones in the 9th there?
We weren't going to take Gaeckle out at that time, so we weren't thinking about going to him. That was just a clutch hit. I just got to give him credit. What was your second question? I mean, right on right, I don't think so. I mean, we didn't feel like that it was something we needed to do. I mean, hindsight's 20/20. We could talk about all the ifs and buts until we're sick of each other. Yes.
Jacob Ryder, Baseball America. Were you able to have a conversation yet with Chuck and to see a player go through that? I mean, how difficult is that?
Yeah, I went down and he finally made it to the bench just before I came up here, and he's pretty distraught. But I just told him straight. I started telling him that how much I appreciated him, and we would never have made it here without him. And he said that he was sorry, and I said, "Don't tell me you're sorry. You don't have to tell me you're sorry." And then he said it again. And, it's tough. Well, that kid doesn't have to be sorry for anything. He was our glue, man. He held it together.
Hi, Dave. Peter Burnett from the Council Bluffs Nonpareil. Coach Johnson was talking about just the respect he has for you and for the program. Can you just talk about the respect that you share with him and just being able to share this stage with him? I mean, really the ultimate game aside from the finals themselves.
Yeah, I mean, he does a great job. He's a tireless worker. You know, it's a tough place to coach, high expectations, just like in Fayetteville, and he handles it well. You know, we've talked many times off the field, and I appreciate him, you know, complimenting us and our program, and I feel the same way about their program. One of the top programs in the country year in and year out. Great fan base, a lot of support, and you know, that's why they've got 7 national championships and they're working on an 8th.
Andrew Ryder, College Baseball Central. Coach, what does this say about your team that when the game was over, their first instinct was to go check on Chuck and Cam?
Yeah, I mean, that's just what we've seen for months now. You know, they really care about each other, and I mean, just kind of what I've said. They knew we wouldn't be here without him. We didn't lose the game because of him. We lost the game because we didn't score earlier in the game, or we didn't make a pitch, or we didn't make a play, and we lost. You know, one play might be something that stands out, but there's a lot of things going at 27 outs, you know. So I appreciate the team going out and taking care of him and comforting him, and you know, that just shows you how much they respect him and how much they appreciate him.
Harrison Fan, SEC Unfiltered. Coach, this team, you've coached a lot of really special and talented teams. What has this one meant to you from a standpoint of just not only how the season went, but just the guys in the team and kind of the culture, everything that surrounds that?
Yeah, this is one of the top teams I've ever coached, on and off the field. Just being around them, you know, it's funny, you know, I've been doing it for a while, and people will say things to me like, you know, the kids have really changed over the years, and I always say, no, they haven't. And they're good. They just want to know that you care about them. And yeah, it's tough, man. Kids are good, man. I love being around them. That's why I do it.
Dave, you mentioned you weren't going to pull Gaeckle there, so I'm guessing you expected to get some length from him. Kind of what were you expecting to get from him tonight, and just what did you make of his performance?
Just what we got, 40 to 50 pitches. He could have gone back in the 9th. It's like I told him, it's not worth it, man. You got your whole career ahead of you, and you might get 3 outs on 9 pitches. I can't send it back out there. Coach Hobbs and I felt the same way. That's enough, and I mean, that's enough. And you know, he would have gone back out if we just said, "Hey, you got another one in you? What else is he gonna say? Yeah, I'm good." No, we had to make that decision, and I'd make it again. It's not fair. It's not fair to him. He gives us everything he has. He's got a bright future, and it's just what you do.
Christina Long, WholeHogSports.com. You've been here before, Dave, where your season ends with kind of some heartbreakers when you've got 2 outs in the 9th. Just what are the first steps to actually moving on from that and looking ahead to trying to get it back here?
Yeah, I mean, in the back of your head, you're always thinking about next year, throughout the season with recruiting, who you have in your program. I mean, what are you going to do when the season's over? You're going to have those conversations with players. You just learn how to do it. It's just what you do, you know, and you start fighting to get back here. I mean, every time we have recruits in the fall, and then you're thinking about when they get here down the road and how that's going to fill in there. And then we lose one in the draft, and we lose that one in the draft, and then we get one out of the portal, and then, I mean, here we go. And then when school starts, that's what you got. And you hope you got enough. You hope they like each other. You hope they like to play. I mean, there's so many new kids nowadays. You don't bring a lot of freshmen in. You have until their third year. You develop them. It's just different now, but you either have to embrace it or you do something else, and I'm embracing it. So, I mean, I have a lot of good memories for this team, and that's what I'm going to try to think about most of the time. Obviously, there's a little bit of what ifs and heartbreak, but I'm excited for these kids in about a month to get drafted, because there's going to be a lot of them leave our program. I'd say 8 to 10 of them will be drafted pretty high. So that's exciting. Makes you proud. So, but you're always looking to the future. You're always looking to a year down the road, 2 years down the road, and you know, we've been on the phone a lot up here with kids that we're trying to get to come visit us when our season's over, and so we'll be on the phone probably tomorrow getting them lined up.
Jake McKeever, College Baseball Central coach. It's always tough to reflect in a moment like this, but was there a point in the season where you felt like this team had enough to get it to Omaha?
Oh, yeah. I felt like in the fall, towards the end, I thought this team, if we stay healthy, you know, we'll be in the top of the league. We'll be in the top 4 or 5. And if we have a couple guys come on, you know, we will definitely have an opportunity to play in Omaha. You know, you never know how the regionals are going to go, super regional, who you're matched up against, and how the team's playing, and who's, you know, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that maybe the fans don't know. Injuries, sickness, you know, ready to go do something else, thinking about pro ball or whatever. You know, you got to try to keep it all together so you can fight your way through. But and then during the season, you know, I told them, you know, and we don't talk about getting to Omaha. We just kind of expect it. We're going to fight to get there, and I don't try to bring it up, dwell on it. Just I don't want to put that pressure on them. But I told them a couple of times down the stretch that your last game needs to be in Omaha. And so I told them after tonight. I said, you guys did what you deserve. You got what you deserve. You got to finish up here. You know, it just wasn't exactly the way we wanted it to go down.
That'll conclude our press conference tonight, Coach. We
Okay.
appreciate your time.
All right, then.
Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Appreciate you, man.
Yep.